Now we're going to start with the colored side up, and we're going to divide the paper into 8ths horizontally. So we'll start by valley folding in half, so we'll bring this bottom edge up to the top edge. Just make sure both of the corners line up, and then you can crease it all the way across. And then unfold. Next we'll divide both of those sections in half, so we'll take this bottom edge and bring it up to that center crease we just made. And crease that one. Then bring the top edge down to that same crease. Now we can unfold both of those. And now turn the paper over right to left. Next we're going to divide each of these sections in half, and we'll do that by pleating all the way up. So we'll take this bottom edge and bring it into this first crease. Next we're going to take the existing crease that's underneath that raw edge, and we're going to form it into a mountain fold. And then we'll bring that edge in to lie along this next crease. Next we'll repeat those steps with the next crease. So we'll form that into a mountain fold. And then bring that new edge up to the next crease. And then we'll repeat that one more time. So we'll form the next crease and then bring it up to the raw edge at the top. Now you should have a fan, and then you can unfold that with the colored side up. Back to a square again. Now we'll rotate by 90 degrees. Now we'll repeat some of those steps on this side, but we're only folding the bottom 5/8, so just follow along closely. So we'll valley fold in half again. And then unfold. Now bring that bottom edge up to that center crease. And then leave that one folded. Next we'll take this top edge and bring it down to the edge that we just made. And then crease that. Now unfold, and then unfold again. Now turn it over right to left. Next we'll divide these two sections in half, so bring the bottom edge into that first crease. And then form the next crease into a mountain fold and bring it up to the next crease above it. And then unfold that all the way. Next we're going to fold some diagonal creases, so I'm going to draw them on the paper first, and then I'll walk you through how to crease them. So we're going to start on the right side. We'll bring this bottom edge up to this right edge. And then hold that in place and start the crease from the bottom right corner, and then just fold 2 grid lines in. Just to right there. And then unfold. Now you should have a crease that runs right along this line. Next we'll bring the right half of the bottom edge into the center vertical crease. And then again just fold this in 2 grid lines. And then unfold. Now you should have these 2 creases in place. Next we'll bring the left half of the bottom edge into that center vertical crease. And this time we'll fold up 3 grid lines. and then unfold. Now for this last crease, we're going to bring the top of the left edge into this crease that's running across, so that's 2 creases up. And just fold that in 1 grid line and unfold. Now you should have all 4 of these creases in place. Next, we're going to divide this section in half. So we're going to form this crease. It's the 4th crease up. It's actually the center crease. We're going to form that into a mountain fold. And then we'll bring that up to the crease that's right above it. So just line those creases up, and then you can crease it all the way across. And then unfold. Next, using that crease we just made, valley fold the whole thing down. And now valley fold in half, bringing the left edge over to the right on existing crease lines. Next, we're going to make a small crease in this corner. We're going to bring this edge on the left in to lie along this first horizontal crease that's running across. I'll show you what I mean. Just like that. And then unfold. And you can unfold it all the way. Now you should have a small little diamond. Next, using that diamond that we just made, we're just going to make sure each of those creases are mountain folds. So we're just gonna pinch each edge of that. Now some of them already are mountain folds, but 2 of them are valley folds. So just crease each edge of that, just reversing the existing creases or reforming them. Next, we're going to pleat all the way across on the existing creases. So we'll start with this first valley fold, then the mountain fold, valley fold, mountain valley, just reforming the little fan. Now we can pick that up with the colored side up, and all your diagonals should be on the bottom. Now we're going to look at the left side. We're going to do what's called an Elias stretch. We're going to start by forming this crease in the corner, and then we'll also form the diagonal that meets in the center. And then we're going to connect those 2 points with this mountain fold that's running across. And then the rest of the diagonals right here should be formed as valley folds. And as you close it up, you just push on this bottom portion. It should all close up nicely, and it should happen pretty naturally. Next, we'll look at the diagonals on the right side. We're going to form the beginning of this diagonal. And then we're going to extend this mountain fold all the way out to the right. And then we'll form the next part as a valley fold. And then we'll form these as mountain folds, just closing it up as we go. Next, just take this long flap and fold it all the way down. And then crease that firmly. And then that long flap should be able to swing pretty freely. Now swing it back up. Next, we're going to take this flap on our left and swing that point all the way up. Now we're going to make a valley fold that's just below this first crease. It's actually going to be a quarter of the way between this crease and this crease. So I'll show you what I mean. Just fold it down about this much. It's okay if it's not exactly a quarter, just try to get close. It should look about like that. Next, we'll swing this bottom point up, making a valley fold right along the crease that lies underneath it. Then you can open that up a little bit. And now we'll repeat those steps similarly on this side. We're going to make a valley fold just above this crease. Again, just about a quarter of the way between those two creases. And then we'll swing this point down along the crease that's underneath it. Then we can fold both of those out. You can start to see what we're going for. Next, we'll face this and look at it from the back. We're going to make a small valley fold, swinging this point down. Now this is about a third of the way, or between a quarter and a third of the way down. Just crease it about that much. That just forms the hair. It also helps hold everything together. And now we'll look at this from the back. And we're gonna hold on to this part of this long flap, just right up against the head and the body. And we're going to be using that diamond that we made in the previous step, as well as these three creases that are close together. If you look at this edge that runs right down the center, the left side of that edge should have that small diamond we made. If we just open these other edges apart and push down right in the center of that diamond, then it'll sort of pop through to the other side. And then you can close those edges back up, and as you do this, we're going to push our hands together. You can see that's all the creases of that diamond formed, as well as a new crease right in the middle. Then push both of these small flaps over to the right. Now we'll turn that around. Next, if you look at this top little small flap, we're going to fold that in half. And you don't have to crease it too firmly. We're actually going to have it a little curved in the end. It'll look about like that. And do the same thing with the bottom flap. Just fold that in half. And then they'll end up looking about like this. Now we have all the creases in place. Next, we just need to shape the water so it flows and has some curves to it. So the way I do that is I roll this flap. So if you just begin to roll it from the end, just about like that, and then you can roll it the other direction. So it starts to form an S. You can see it forms a little bit of an S shape. And then you'll pull the edges apart from each other. You can see it's starting to curve. It can help if you do this with each flap individually, or with each edge individually. Just form each of them into an S, then move on to the next edge. We're not making any new creases here, we're just giving it some shape. That looks pretty nice. If you take your time, you can make it look really good. I'm gonna leave it like that for now. Then we just need to make sure all the flaps are in their right place. The head should be sticking straight up. Then we should have this back leg down like he's kneeling. It should look like that. You might need to mess with it a little bit, but he should be able to stand up on its own. Thank you all so much for folding. I hope yours looks great. Now you can go check out the other videos and fold all 4. Then if you want, you can tag me on Instagram and I can share your folds on my story. Plus, I'd just love to see what you were able to create. Also, I have another model I designed a few years ago that I'm currently redesigning so I can teach it on this channel. It's a firebender and a waterbender folded from the same square. I really like this one and I'm excited to teach it on here, so click subscribe so you can find out when I release that video. But thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.